What's up guys, it's Natural here, welcome back to another Football Impact video, and kicking it off was a very jam-packed full of entertaining goals and some fantastic football matches, and we're kicking it off with the Premier League this week. And in the Premier League we had the big pretty much who's going to finish second behind Man City, and the race for the Champions League and the relegation battle. But who's going to finish the race behind Manchester City? It was between Manchester United and Liverpool, and Man United went 2-1. Mourinho out-tacticked and out-fought Jurgen Klopp in the defence, and pretty much the midfield battle won the game. And it keeps going on with Liverpool's defence. They will never challenge for the title until they fix the defence. And Lovren, he's just all over the place. If you look shambles in the fucking dictionary, his face would be on it, because every time Lukaku got even close to him, he bullied him, manipulated him, he was all over him, and it was like a bully just bullying a kid every time, because he picks one that's him kills him. He's not gonna fight me because he's a coward, and that's what Lovren for me is. He's a coward defender who doesn't do it. Anyway. The game, Liverpool in the first half were poor. Like you watch Jurgen Klopp team away from home, you think, okay, they're going to play the same pressing game, they're going to have the same intensity. They didn't show it in the first half. They were too slow, they were too lethargic. They were just, yeah, you know what, it's a big game, we're just going to wait 20 minutes. Man United in the first 20 minutes were at them from a minute go, from the first whistle. Rashford was all over Alexander-Arnold. It was a big risk of him playing. Wasn't really, he was excellent. Mata started, and I thought he was the man of the match. I know Rashford got man of the match, but for me, it wasn't for Rashford's 2 goals. He would have got man of the match, because for me, Mata was sensational for Manchester United in that game. I also thought Lukaku had a fantastic game, definitely his best, probably since scoring against Chelsea to give them a little dagger in the heart. I also thought Eric Bailly had one of those games that a little roulette turn, as a centre back, I think, mad thing, in the first half, and also conceded a goal. But I thought Manchester United just edged it. I thought Liverpool just struggled in that midfield, and you could totally see they need a top quality defensive midfield player. I'm really surprised Henderson didn't play in this game, but your club always doesn't trust him in big games. That's why he played Emery, James Milner and Chamberlain. I would have played Ronaldo, Chamberlain and Henderson. I don't think James Milner has it anymore. I also think the defence for Liverpool, like I said, Lovren I don't think is good enough. Alexander-Arnold is a talent, but again, he got found out time after time after time with Rashford. And the goalkeeping situation for Karius, he's had a decent, he had an alright game. He wasn't any fault for any of the goals. People say the second goal he was at fault for coming out, but I just found it was all Cameron's virus in Liverpool in terms of the midfield and defence, so I wouldn't blame him too much. He's had actually a decent couple of games this Karius, so I wouldn't blame him too much. But if Liverpool want a chance for the title next season or even win a trophy, they have to go and get a new goalkeeper, a top quality defence midfield player, maybe a Nangolan or something like that, and a top quality centre back to play with Van Dijk, because Lovren doesn't cut it. As for Manchester United win, I think will get them second this season behind the arch rivals Manchester City. And if the big game at the week, it wasn't this against Liverpool, it was the game against Sevilla. That game is the big game for them this week. I'll win that, and also maybe I'll finish second and maybe win the FA Cup. I think that's a good season for Manchester United. I know they haven't won the league, but Man City have single-handedly ripped the Premier League to shreds this season. I still think Man United have had a great season this year, because last season they finished 6th. This season they looks like going to finish 2nd. That's 4 places than they were last season. I think they've had a good season. Liverpool, if they get top 4 this season, it's not a great season, but it's been an okay season. Now we go to the shambolic game I've seen in a long time between West Ham and Burnley. Burnley won 3-0. Let's go to the game first and foremost. Burnley were excellent. The first half wasn't really a good game. Then the changes came. Burnley brought on Chris Wood. He was so vital for that when, he gave the ball to Barnes. Barnes scored an absolute screamer of a goal. He scored the other 2 goals as well. But they fully deserve it. They were the better team. And man, they're only a couple of points behind Arsenal. Who would have fuck said that? With 8 games to go. And they fully deserve it. Now we're on to West Ham. West Ham, for me, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. I know they lost 4-1 to Liverpool. I know they lost 4-1 to Swansea. I know they lost this game. But West Ham right now are 16th in the Premier League. I think 2 or 3 points off the relegation zone. And to me, for fans to go onto the pitch and protest the way they protest, I think is a disgrace for football, and it's a disgrace if you're a West Ham supporter. Now, I get why your fans are protesting. As a Newcastle fan, I get it. You don't like the current regime. You're sick and tired of the lies that has been fed to you. I understand. They went to a new stadium. They thought this was going to be, a big change. You're going to be fighting for the top 6. You're going to be fighting for Europe. Well, they've obviously lied to you. I've said, if they're going to move to a stadium, they have to rebuild Upton Park, like Tottenham are doing with White Hart Lane, and then, have London Stadium as a temporary home, just like Tottenham have with Wembley, and then move to your brand new home, new Upton Park, I would call it, or the bowling ground. But to me, that's not what they did, and they sort of looked at London Stadium as a marketing deal. I'm looking at it as a West Ham perspective. And that's where the West Ham fans are not happy. Also not happy with the current owner, not happy with the current manager they have. They only gave him a 6-month contract. I get that, but they obviously couldn't get anybody else. So they had to give David Moyes, who again got sacked from Sunderland for getting them relegated. So to me, that's not really a forward-thinking manager. It's more of a backward-thinking manager they put in. And many other things as well. But to me, if you're going to protest, don't go to the games, don't buy the merch, and don't attend and have a protest, like a sit-in protest, or have a protest outside the stadium. Don't give the owners any money, because this is just going to fuel the fire for them. This is just going to give them think, you know what, they're going to protest, but they're still going to give us money. That's not what they want. Arsenal are having protests because they're sick and tired of anger. Newcastle, they have protests because Meg Ashley looks like he wants to sell a club, and as soon as that fat son of a bitch is my club, they're better. So I get West Ham's frustration, but protest in a different way, not in this way, because for me, people could have been seriously hurt. I mean, West Ham, there's a lot of kids, West Ham fans had to be in the Burnley substitutes bench. I mean, that's scary. It was like a prison riot. It's like trouble for a prison break. So to me, West Ham totally did not. West Ham fans didn't get that right. But I get why West Ham fans are frustrated. They're being lied to, and I freaking stand, but do it in a different way. But go back to the game. Going back to West Ham season. The next game against Southampton after the international break is the biggest game West Ham have had this season. If they lose that game, they're in the bottom 3. If they win that game, they may stay up for another season. That game is the biggest game of West Ham's season. As for Burnley, they've been excellent, and I think if they finish 7th this season, above best of the rest, Sean Dyche should be given a medal. He should be given manager of the season. What a job he's done. Tottenham and Chelsea win as well as this weekend. Those two teams are pretty much fighting who's going to finish 4th. Tottenham won 4-1 against Bournemouth. They thumped them, they outfought them, but Harry Kane is injured. That's right, no one good for Tottenham or even England, who could be at the for England. Because Harry Kane is the only chance of them doing something at the World Cup, because without him, they're fucked. Just like Wayne Rooney in 2006, without him, they're pretty much effed. So they need him fit as soon as possible, but it doesn't look like a big injury. He may be out for a couple of weeks at least. So, but it's good for Tottenham right now. They're playing the FA Cup. They're having an international break, and so they'll have a massive game on Easter Sunday against Chelsea, which that game is huge for the whole top 4. So it doesn't have a advantage, but go back to the game. Bournemouth were leading this game. Bournemouth should have been 2-0 up in this game. Stanley's hit the bar, but he did score a really good goal. But then Tottenham, but on Lamela, actually made the Tottenham team better because they played 4-3-3. Son was excellent. I also thought that Serge Aurier had a really good game. He's put some really good crosses into the box. But Son has been he's been more important than Harry Kane for Tottenham in 2018. The goals he has scored, he scored an absolute power of goal against Juventus when they were knocked out in the Champions League, because Juventus just have a mentality and just have a togetherness of never giving up, and that's what Tottenham struggle with the inexperience of the team in the last stage of the Champions League. But enough of that. They were excellent. Tottenham. Son scored 2. Dele Alli scored 1. Sergio Aurier scored a goal as well. They comfortably beat Bournemouth, and looks like maybe the fight for that top 4 will go down to the game against Chelsea. And speaking of Chelsea, they beat Crystal Palace 2-1. Palace, you can totally see from Wolf Zaha, they really are not the same team. They're really strong for creativity and everything. Chelsea scored the 2 goals. Williams scored a really good goal. Give or take, did take a deflection, and they scored the second goal as well. But give credit to Palace. Van Aanholt scored a goal at the end, not made the goalkeeper. If only if the goal that did stood from Gary Cahill, who was not a foul, and it should have been a goal for Palace. So it could have been a draw at the end, but Chelsea just did enough in the end to win. And but they have a big game, Chelsea, in the midweek against Barcelona in the Champions League, so that is going to be massive for them. I don't think they have a chance because Barcelona's form this season in the Camp Nou has been sensational. I think they've only conceded 2 goals at the Camp Nou this season, which is absolutely sensational because Valverde's done a remarkable job with that club this season. Got rid of Neymar. People thought, oh, they're not going to be fighting for the Champions League, they're not going to be fighting for the Premier League. They've been excellent. Chelsea, big game for them, massive game for them. They get knocked out in the Champions League. They still got the FA Cup and they're still fighting for the top 4. So it's not it is a bad season, but it's not like a season where they finished 10th and they got sacked, Mourinho, and they were awful. So it's not been a horrific season, but it's been a great season for Chelsea. Newcastle win 3-0. I can't believe it. We were excellent in this game. Southampton were absolutely appalling, and I didn't have a game plan from the start. Newcastle United scored in the 2nd minute. It was too easy. Jonjo Shelvey had the freedom of the park. He had too much time on the ball, and you give a player that quality that time. He puts in a nice ball into Kennedy. He does a nicely beautiful little finish from him to make it 1-0. And in the counter attack, Jose Perez, he got the ball, passed into Gale. Gale with a nice little sweat back to Kennedy, makes it 2. And the third goal was too easy. Jonjo Shelvey, Matt Ritchie's unmarked. He puts in a nice little cute finish for free. He smashes the corner flag into pieces, which he always does, Matt Ritchie. But Southampton did have a game plan. I don't understand why you don't play 2 up front. Like, you're struggling in this game. This is a must-win game for Southampton. You're playing against Newcastle. Go for it. Just go for it. No, they didn't. They put 1 man up front, and then Tadic was awful, and it just didn't work. Redmond, I don't know why he plays for Southampton. He just doesn't do anything in the game. I just think Southampton right now, I thought they would stay up because I thought they were going for a rocky patch. Now I'm looking at them in this game, they're going down because there's nothing in that game to show me they stay up. No fight, no desire, no hunger. If you don't even have those 3 as a team, you're down. Southampton need something right now. Maybe sack their manager. They have 2 or 3 weeks break. Maybe they sack Pellegrino now and bring someone else in with 8 games to spare. They're not even in the relegation zone, but they need to find something to happen, or they can easily be getting relegated this season. As for Newcastle United, they have a big little break now, 3-week break before the next game is Huddersfield at the end of March. So if they win that game, I think Newcastle will stay up because Rafa Benitez is an absolute magician, and if any of our managers is managing my club, we would be second bottom with West Brom. No question about it. That man literally is saving Newcastle United this season. What a manager he is. Big time. Arsenal beat Watford in sort of a game that nobody really cared about because Arsenal, pretty much their season is all about the Europa League. Watford are already safe, and they just have the flip-flop on and waiting for the sunset and waiting to the season to end. So yeah, it wasn't really a good game, to be honest. Arsenal, too much quality in the end for Watford. Aubameyang was excellent in this game. He scored a goal. He should have scored 2, even though he's through a goal the first half and should have scored. Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang really have a good combination. They really do link up, play well, just like they did at Dortmund. And Mkhitaryan scored the 3rd goal in this game, but they had enough in the end, Arsenal, to win. And so it's a good win for Arsenal because just get some momentum going for the Europa League. I thought Martin Niles, who I actually think is a better fullback than Hector Bellerin, even though people say Martin Niles is not a fullback, it just goes to show how shit Hector Bellerin has been this season. I'd be shocked if Hector Bellerin even plays against Hasty Milan in the return leg this week for the 2nd leg. Because I think Martin Niles, he looks to play, he's a 2-footed player, he's got pace and he's got aggression. which for me, Hector Bellerin does not have. So for me, if I was Arsene Wenger, I would play Martinez or Hector Bellerin against AC Milan in the second leg, because he looks an absolute star in the making. As for Watford, the cojones thing that Troy Deeney said came back and bit him in the ass this game, because he missed a penalty and the Arsenal fans were saying, you haven't got cojones and this, that, and the other. So it was a little bit of banter. So Troy Deeney, you shouldn't have said what he said. And last game is West Brom got absolutely molested against Leicester City 4-1. Jamie Vardy scored the goal of the weekend. What a fucking finish that was. That was one of the goals you don't see time and time again. The finish, and as long as weak foot was even more unbelievable, is so fucking pure, clean, world class, just thunder amazing. I don't even know what to say. It's just a world class goal, and you have to sit there and applaud it. West Brom, the marking is appalling, really. But they were leading this game. West Brom, Lewandowski scored the first goal, and you thought, all right, West Brom may get something in this game. They may not win the game because they struggled. They in terms of West Brom, I didn't think they won the game. I thought they may get a draw. Alan Pardew has just totally ruined that team. Since they sacked Tony Pulis, Alan Pardew only won one game in the Premier League. He's took them to Barcelona, whole Taxigate situation. Johnny Evans, your captain, your best centre-back, is not even playing in this game. And the fact of the matter is, Jay Rodriguez is now having an FA ban. Daniel Sturridge is injured. Who is going to score the goals? Who is going to be the guy who's going to be, you know what, fuck it. Looks like we're relegated. Everybody's written us off. Just go out there and play your football. They haven't done that, West Brom, because Alan Pardew is totally stupid as a manager. He's failed at Newcastle. He's failed at Crystal Palace. Yeah, he had one good season at Newcastle, got 5th. He had one good season at Crystal Palace, got him to the cup final. But he's not good enough anymore. He's a dinosaur manager, and he needs to be sacked. And West Brom, for me, I said it from day one, if you're going to sack Tony Pulis, you should have sacked him in last season and brought a better manager than Alan Pardew. You didn't do it. You're getting relegated for it, and you deserve to. As for Leicester, what a result for this is. 4-1 win. Now up to, I think, 8th in the league. It's between them and Leicester. It's between them and Burnley, who will get 7th this year, best of the rest. I expect Burnley to, I think they just have enough of Leicester. But they still got the FA Cup to fight for Leicester. And if they get in the FA Cup, finish top 8 this season and the start of the season ahead, I think that's a very good season for Leicester City. So guys, let's have a little peek at the Premier League table, where Manchester City, who played tonight, are still going to win the league because they're superior to everybody else. There's Manchester United stay second on their win, top, and they move up to 3rd with their win after Liverpool's defeat. Then it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Burnley, Leicester, Everton and Watford stay as they are. At the bottom, Brighton, Bournemouth, Newcastle move up to 13th for their win. Swansea move above Huddersfield with their point. Then it is West Ham, who move down to 16th and don't look good for them. They need to pick up points or they could get down, or they could get relegated this season. Southampton as well. Palace are in the bottom 3, but I expect Palace to at least get some momentum now because of Wolves' Zaha team. Stoke doesn't look good for them, and West Brom are doomed and are ready for me relegated. So guys, let's see what this weekend in the Bundesliga. And the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, who have a big game against Besiktas. We expect them to improve really because they're finally up. Put Hamburg to the sword, 6-0 win. Lewandowski gets a hat-trick and scores his 100th goal for Bayern Munich. The guy is just a goal-scoring machine. Also, I thought some good players playing this one. I thought Coleman, he's been in really good form recently for Bayern Munich. James Rodriguez has been excellent since Carlo Ancelotti's been sacked. He's just literally looks like the player at the World Cup for Colombia. He's been immense for them. Hamburg have now conceded, I think, 78 goals against Bayern Munich in 6 years. Fuck guys, you do not like playing Bayern Munich. Fucking hell. But Bayern Munich are only I think 4 or 3 wins away from winning the Bundesliga for the 6th consecutive season. Hamburg, you guys are going to be playing in the 2nd division for German football next season, and my god, you totally deserve it. That clock is ticking, and it's going to stop ticking, and thank fuck, and only you see that damn fucking Hamburg clock ticking again next season. The fight for second in the Premier League is pretty much between Frankfurt, Leverkusen, Leverkusen and Freiburg. Leverkusen and RB Leipzig, I'm going to say. Dortmund played Frankfurt with sort of 3rd versus 4th, but Dortmund just down up in the end thanks to 2 Batshuayi goals just at the end. But Frankfurt were excellent. I thought Kevin Prince Boateng, he's been a really good player for them this season. Other players as well for Frankfurt, and look at a really good team. I don't think they'll get top 4, but I do think they'll get a Europa League spot this year. Frankfurt because they've been an excellent team this year, and they have a fantastic manager who I think could be going to bigger and better things in the not so distant future. Dortmund did enough in the end to win. I expect them to finish 3rd or 2nd this season with Marco Reus, who's now signed a new contract at Dortmund until 2023. Al-Shaarawy looks like he's on the verge of signing for Dortmund for 48 million euros. That looks like it's only a matter of time before the end of the season. You see that a done deal. Because Chelsea don't want him anymore. Even though there's a good statistics out there. Al-Shaarawy scored 20 goals this season. Morata has scored 12. I'm telling you this right now, Chelsea did a stupid decision of getting rid of Al-Shaarawy. Almost saying that one. But Dortmund did enough in the end to beat Frankfurt. Schalke did enough in the end on Friday night to beat Mainz 1-0. And Schalke, who I think will finish probably between Dortmund and Schalke, who get that 3rd spot, who get that 2nd spot this season in the Bundesliga. I think they'll probably finish 3rd this season because I don't think they have enough goals in the team. But I do think they'll comfortably finish top 4 this year, Schalke. Mainz are just a point. Goal difference from being out of the relegation playoff. As for Wolfsburg, who lost this weekend to Hoffenheim, it doesn't look good for you guys. You keep conceding far too many goals. Hoffenheim are on a really good run and spell now, and I expect them to at least have a good end to the season. I don't think they get top 4, but I do expect them to finish 5th, 6th, or 7th this season. And the last game was Leverkusen, continue their winning spell at the minute. They went 2-0 against Mr. Gladbach. And I expect them to finish 4th this season. That's why I think it's going to be Dortmund 2nd, Schalke 3rd, and probably Leverkusen 4th. I just think Leipzig at the minute, they drew 0-0. I don't at the weekend. I just think Leipzig's not up good for them, and I think Leipzig will finish 7th this season. As for Frankfurt, will finish 5th this season. That's where I think the Bundesliga table will end at the end of the season. I could be wrong. I'm always wrong. I have terrible predictions, but it could end something like that. So guys, let's have a look at the Bundesliga table where Bayern Munich are just spreading away. They've won the league, only 2 or 3 wins away from winning the title. Again, Schalke are 2nd, a point ahead of Dortmund. Dortmund are a point ahead of Leverkusen, and Leverkusen are 2 points ahead of Frankfurt. Then it's Leipzig, Hoffenheim, Augsburg, Gladbach, Stuttgart, and at the bottom is Hertha Berlin, Hanover, Freiburg, Werder Bremen, Wolfsburg, Mainz, Hamburg, and Cologne, who have a massive game tonight against Werder Bremen. That game is huge. If Werder Bremen win, they get a little bit of a gap. If Cologne lose, you're down, bitch. You're relegated. So guys, see what happened this weekend in La Liga. And in La Liga, Barcelona did enough in the end to beat Malaga. Rock bottom Malaga was 1st against 20th. And no Lionel Messi, who was celebrating the birth of his 3rd child. Congratulations to them. But they didn't need them. Coutinho, who actually, with Messi's absence, had the best game in a Barcelona shirt since he's been at Barcelona. He was excellent. He scored a goal in this game. Luis Suarez with the first goal from a nice, beautiful, glancing header into the goal. He also could have scored at the end with a free kick, Suarez, but they did enough in the end. Malaga were done in 10 minutes on a terrible tackle from one of the Malaga players on Jordi Alba. It could have been a career-ending tackle. It was a shocking tackle, and I think he'd be out for that. He'd be getting a big game ban for that. He may have missed the rest of the season. But Barcelona, they have a big game coming in the Champions League against Chelsea. I expect them to go through. They have enough to go through, and yeah, everything's looking rosy, and they're still unbeaten in La Liga this season. Can they go a whole season unbeaten? That is going to be interesting because the game, I think 3 games to go at the end of the season against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, I think the only team that, like I said, that can stop Barcelona for one whole season unbeaten. As for Malaga, they're for me the writing's on the wall. It's only a matter of time before they play in the Segunda Division. Atletico Madrid win 3-0 against Celta Vigo, and Griezmann, who's been really good form in recently, he scored 2 goals in this game, and he actually should have scored a hat-trick. I know you could say he could have been 3rd, he's not unlucky not to get it, but they had enough in the end, Atletico Madrid, and they won 3-0 in the Europa League as well against Lewandowski, Moscow, if I can say that team's word right. But they won 3-0, a comfortable win for them, and I expect them to finish 2nd this season and win the Europa League. As for Celta Vigo, top 8th for them is a good season. Real Madrid went 2-1 against Eibar, and Eibar were really playing well in this game. They're in really decent form. They are unlucky not to win the team, get a point in this game. However, I know Real Madrid scored 2 goals, and Cristiano Ronaldo is now back looking Ronaldo of old, really. Maybe because the World Cup's coming up, or maybe because the Ballon d'Or is on the horizon again, where he needs to step up, because Messi could actually nick it from him in 2018. As for so he scored 2 goals in this game, and without Ronaldo in this team, Real Madrid wouldn't be in the top 4, and they'd be knocked out against PSG in the last game, which they knocked them out of the Champions League, because Ronaldo's 3 goals was the difference between them and Paris Saint-Germain. A good win for them to at least finish 3rd this season. I expect them to finish 3rd, but Valencia, who also won this weekend in a very tricky fixture, I thought they may get a draw, but they actually went to Sevilla and won. They coughed to beat Sevilla. Sevilla have been poor this season. They're inconsistent. They're going through a run spell, and you think, okay, they're going through a really good purple patch, and now they get beat by Valencia, and then they have a massive game in the Champions League against Manchester United. Sevilla. I don't expect them to go through, but football's football. You can never really carry it out, really. But I just think at the end, Valencia, they're still there behind Real Madrid. They're only a point. I still can't believe Valencia are coming behind Real Madrid at this stage of the season. This is going to show what a terrible season Real Madrid have had this year. But Valencia, I expect them to finish 4th this season, because the gap down between them and Sevilla is massive. So that win, I think, against Sevilla has given them Champions League football next season. But can they finish 3rd? That remains to be a question mark. It depends on Real Madrid, really, not Valencia. And last game is Levante beat Getafe 1-0 in a big game for them. That win has pretty much opened the gap between them and the other 2 teams. I think Malaga are down. Between Las Palmas and Deportivo, the gap is now, I think, 4 points. And the way Las Palmas played at the weekend is Villarreal. I don't expect them to stay up. Don't ask what's going on with Deportivo La Coruña. They've conceded too many goals this season, and for me, I think they could stay down. But they have a little hope, but it doesn't look good for them. So guys, look at the La Liga table where Barcelona are top with 72 points. That's how they're going to do in a second. Real Madrid, Valencia are only a point between them. Then Sevilla 5th, Villarreal 6th, and Granola, who won again this weekend, are only 2 points behind Sevilla. It is really interesting who will get 5th this year between Sevilla, Villarreal and Granola. Then it's Eibar, Celta Vigo and Real Betis. And the bottom is Getafe, Atletico Bilbao, Espanyol, Real Sociedad, Leganés, Alves. There's a massive gap down to Levante, Las Palmas, Deportivo La Coruña and Malaga. It looks like Levante maybe just need another win or 2 to secure La Liga football for another season. So now let's see what happened this weekend in Serie A. And Serie A had a big game between Napoli and Inter Milan. One team fighting for the Scudetto, one team trying to get into the top 3 in the Champions League places this season. This game was 0-0, and it wasn't a great game. Yes, Icardi was back in the team for Inter Milan. I pretty much should have scored as well, but in the end, it wasn't a great game. It was a poor performance from Napoli. They really are on the ropes right now. Juventus are jabbing them and trying to get the knockout punch into Napoli, and it's starting to show really, because they keep winning Juventus, because they won 2-0 against Udinese. Dybala scored 2, even though Higuain missed the penalty, and I don't know why they didn't give it to Dybala. He's on hat-trick, he should have scored, but anyway, he did enough in the end. They did enough in the end, Juventus, to beat Udinese, who actually are in not really good form recently. Probably not a couple of wins just to secure top 10 this season, but Juventus just have a way of doing it. In the Champions League, and Spurs just have a way of just grinding you out. It's just incredible to watch, really, Juventus. The mentality of that club is unbelievable. And Allegri, who I think is a world-class manager, and I still think he's not getting the praise he deserves, Juventus, they could win their 7th straight Scudetto. That's incredible, to say the least. Napoli, I want them to win the league because I'm fed up Juventus winning it. Looks like it's slipping out of their hands, and Juventus are sort of starting to feel that 7th straight Scudetto. But anything can happen, really. If they beat Napoli beat Juventus in a couple of months, I think in a month or 2, then that should bring it back. But right now, Juventus top the league on goal. Inter, that's not a good point for them. They need to win this game because Roma won against Torino. So it's not really a good sort of point for you at Inter Milan because Roma won against Torino. So that's not really a good point. They do need to find some form, but they do have a Carrier back in the team after his injury. So that will probably give them a little bit of goals and some sort of daylight of trying to get them into the Champions League next season. Lazio, who are also fighting with Roma and Inter Milan this season to get into the top 3, they only drew 2-2 against Cagliari. Cagliari on the verge of winning the game, thanks to, but alas gasp, Ciro, the fucking hero, he stepped up to say it, scored an absolute blinder and equaliser, and he's now scored 34 goals in 32 games. Only Harry Kane, who has scored 35 goals, has scored more goals than him. He's been amazing this season at Immobile, and I think right now, who's a better striker, Harry Kane or Immobile? I'll put to you guys in the comments down below. But he's been immense this season, Immobile. I think for me, he's my Serie A player of the year. I still can't believe Lazio are even fighting for the Champions League places, because without Immobile and even Savic, this is not a good team. Lukaku's a good player, fullback for Lazio. They don't have a great defence, and that's the reason why they see too many goals. But they're such a great team to watch, and man, they're really good. There's that point for the rescue for Immobile may actually seal Champions League football for them next season, because they do have a game. Because they do have a couple of games that you expect them to win, but they do have a couple of games that they could actually dampen their Champions League hope. Milan, AC Milan get a last minute winner, just like Immobile did for Lazio, thanks to Andre Silva. He scores his first Serie A goal of the season, and he had to wait until mid-March. Had to wait to the second week of March to score it. Who would have thunk that, hey? You spent that many money on a striker and you had to wait that long to score. Crazy. But you felt sorry for Genoa because they had a goal disallowed for VAR. Wasn't right, wasn't wrong. It could have went both ways. I thought I would give them the benefit of the doubt. It should have been a goal for Genoa. So they're bang unlucky, Genoa, to lose the game at the end. But AC Milan, they have a big game coming up midweek against Arsenal. They were 2-0 down. They were purring the game against Arsenal at the San Siro. So they need to step up in this game against Arsenal on Thursday, because this is their big game now. They can't get top 3 now. They can't get Champions League football, but they can win the Europa League to get into the Champions League next season, which is their big omen now, big time. And last game is in a big relegation 6-pointer between Verona and Chievo. Verona win 1-0, and the only goal difference of Chievo. So it's really tight down there right now, because you've got 3 teams with 24 points. I think we're all perfect to say Benevento are relegated. No one's giving them a chance in town this season. So it's going to be really interesting who can pick up the points at the end of the season. With 10 games to go, or 11 games to go in Serie A. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. And also wanted to just mention to say Fiorentina won 1-0 in a very emotional and a very moving game. It was all sort of had a 13 minutes. Fiorentina had 13 minutes sort of applause and sort of appreciation for David Astori. He sadly passed away last week, so it was a very moving game, but they did enough in the end, Fiorentina, to beat Benevento. But it wasn't a great game to watch. It was a very hot, tough game to watch. But the Fiorentina defender dedicated his goal to David Astori, and yeah, it was happy for Fiorentina to win the game, but it wasn't a great game to watch, if you know what I'm saying, because of the whole tragic events. But yeah, good win for Fiorentina. Benevento probably going to play in the Serie A B next season. So guys, up the Serie A table, where Juventus top it by 1 point. Really funkin', eh? They're ahead of Napoli, but even Juventus have a game in hand. Roma are still third on their 3 points ahead of Lazio, but Inter Milan have a game in hand. So that game in hand is against AC Milan. So we're going to find out who wins that game. Then it's Sampdoria, who got thumped this weekend. Then it's AC Milan, let's say, who are only a couple of points behind Inter Milan. Who was thinking, eh? Maybe if AC Milan win that game, they're only a couple of points behind Inter, that team. Then Sampdoria 7, who got thumped this weekend. Atalanta, Fiorentina, and Torino. And at the bottom, it's Udinese, Bologna, Genoa, Cagliari, Chievo, Crotone, Sassuolo, and Splat, who are already goal difference between who you fucking get in the relegation zone for that. And then Verona, with their massive win, only 2 points out of the relegation zone, and Benevento, who we all fucking say are relegated. So guys, moving on to last League Europe. And in League Europe, PSG won 5-0 against Metz. Comfortable win for them. And one of their sort of academy players scored 2 goals in this game, starting this game, and it's bloody excellent. Just going to show why the fuck not starting against Real Madrid in the Champions League last 16 on Tuesday. Don't know, but this game for PSG, we all know they won the league, we all know they're going to win the treble, but they never do it in the Champions League because they have a mental breakdown when it comes to big games in the Champions League. They can never beat Real Madrid, they can never beat Barcelona, and they can never beat Bayern Munich and Juventus. Why? Because there's no mentality of that club, and they need to take a big look at themselves and wake up. Enough man. It's the last man that I ran over PSG, even though Neymar, he does look like he could be back in a couple of months, maybe mid-April, what we're hearing, he could be back, so he needs to get some game time from now to the end of the season to get some fitness going, because there's big games in the World Cup for Brazil. He literally is the poster boy and the main guy for Brazil. So that's, you need to get him back as soon as possible. Mets, that pretty much seals Juventus' fate. We all know you weren't going to get anything against PSG, but it doesn't look good for you guys. The guy is starting to get a bit of a cauldron now. I think it's 7 or 8 points now. With tough games to come, they still have tough games right now, Mets. It doesn't look good for you guys. And looks like you're going to play in Ligue 2 next season. Monaco beat Strasbourg 3-1, and a really comfortable win for them. Falcao, who's back from an injury, was on the bench in this game, and they didn't really need him really. Stepan Jovetic, who's been in really good form recently, scored a goal in this game, also made a goal as well, but they did enough in the end to beat Strasbourg. Marseille went 2-1 against Toulouse. They had to do the hard way. Kostas Mitroglou, that's right, the ex-Benfica striker and ex-Fulham striker, come off the bench and got a late winner for them. And Payet, who's I've criticised to heavens on earth this season, put in a really good ball and actually had probably the best game this season for a Marseille player. Turvan didn't really show what he had this weekend. Maybe he's had one of those games where, you know, every player has it where you have an off day. But they did in the end. Marseille, who I think will finish third this season, because Lyon won 1-0 as well. They just beat Cannes 1-0. And I just think Lyon right now, they're sort of focusing on the Europa League and not focusing on the Ligue 1 top 3 Champions League places. I don't think they'll finish third this season, Lyon. I just think they have a big gap between them and Marseille to breach, and I don't see it happening. But they still had a good season. The fact that they sold Lacazette, and you know they're still fourth, I still think that's a really good season, to be very honest, for Lyon. So yeah, they should finish fourth, and I think they will. And last game was Nice beat Gagnon 5-2, and Pella, one of the players, I can't forget, I always get his name wrong. The number 14 guy plays for Nice. I think his name is Pella, whatever his name is. He scored 4 goals in this game, and he was excellent. Gandalf couldn't deal with him. He even put a prayer on him. So he scored 4. They comfortably won this game 5-2, and a good win for Nice to at least fight. To at least, maybe their aim right now is to finish 5th best of the rest in France. So guys, look at the Ligue 1 table where PSG top on 77 points, then it's Monaco on 63, Marseille on 59, Lyon on 54. Then a little bit of a gap back to Nantes, Rennes, Nice and Montpellier, who are fighting for 5th, and Bordeaux, Dijon in the top 10. At the bottom is Saint-Etienne, Caen, Guingamp, Algiers, Strasbourg, Amiens, Toulouse, Troyes, Lille and Metz. That is your Ligue 1 table after 29 matches. It's looking tight in the relegation zone. Metz, you probably say, are relegated, and PSG only a couple of wins from winning back their Ligue 1 title. So guys, stay on the football back for this episode. You guys have an amazing day and enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the beautiful life that you're living in. Please like, subscribe, natural is out.